Tremendous here. Got a battle report here for you. Battle report number 48. 'Tis I, Lord Tremendous of the Ogre Khans, versus Sex Panther of the Demonic Legions, or Demon Legions, or however you want to pronounce it and say it now. It's perfectly fine either way. I have not played this guy in going on a year simply because he's been out of town for work for 6 to 8 months, and you do with that information what you want. This is a game long in the making. We've been looking forward to getting this one down and out for a while now, and we played it. I'm posting it, and it's oh, it's something else. So let's get to it. Here's my list, and there's no real change from the last one. These are my characters. I have my Great Khan Maximus. He's my General, Kingslayer, Hardened Shield, Talisman of Greater Shielding, and the Charm of Cursed Iron. Ugh. I decided to change his name to Maximus just because I found a cool soundbite from the Gladiator movie, and I don't like trying to pronounce Latin, so screw my last idea. His name is Maximus until I think of something better.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Next up, I have my Shaman Skaz, Skaven in AZ. He's got 3 extra spells, the Demon Heart and Shamanism. Butt Naked Skaz is a deadly Skaz. Next up, I have my Khan. He's my BSB. He's got the Axebreaker Gauntlet, the Dragon Mantle, the Talisman of Shielding, and the Spine Splitter. I just like this guy. For my last character, I have my Mammoth Hunter, Lord Tremendous. He's on his Tusker the War Teddy. He's got an Ogre Crossbow, Razor Blade, Armor of Fortune, Arak's Charm, Lucky Charm, and he's got the big name Headhunter. So when he kills you, he gets stronger. For my core choices, I have my 12-by brick of Tribesmen, the good old boys. They have Full Command, Iron Fists, and the Banner of Discipline. Then I have a unit of 5 Tribesmen, Skaz's Spazzes. There's a banner with Iron Fists in there. The banner's very dangerous. Starting off my special choices, I have my Saber-Toothed Tiger, Bow Wowzer. Then I have a unit of 6 Scrappling Trappers, the Favored Pets. And then I have 5 Mercenary Veterans, the Corpulent Bastards. They have a banner, musician, Iron Fist, Lethal Strike, Bodyguard, and they have a War Standard. They'll melt your face. In the Powder Keg category, I have a Thunder Cannon of Doom! And a vestigial unit of 5 Bombardiers with Banner, Musician, and the Flaming Standard. Why do you take them, I ask? Well, it's because I like to have my handicap when I play this game. Then in the Chain Beast category, my Frost Mammoth, Rufus! He's got a couple of Ogre Crossbows on the guys that he tows around on his Howdah, but man, he is the star of the show. Love this model. He's the best damn guy in the game, period. Alright guys, that's going to do it for my list. I'm going to post my opponent's list, play some music, feel free to pause it whenever you want, see what he took. Here are my spells, which are exactly what you're looking at. Of course, Rufus also has the, what's it called? The number 4 spell, the something chill wind or whatever. He's got it as a bounce spell. Whatever, you know what I'm talking about. And here's deployment. Okay, well, I put down first before my opponent did, so I just threw everything down the way I thought it would go best. I got my trappers in the forest in the middle there because, hey, anything that goes through there has got to roll a die. A 1 in 6 chance is going to take a wound, no armor save. It's worth putting them in there. Then I throw everything down in the middle. I've got my Merc Vets right there, dead center in the middle with my BSB. Behind them is Skaz and Espazzes. To the left is my huge unit of tribesmen with Maximus installed. Next to them is Rufus as backup and just make sure everything slows down when it touches them. I've got the bombardiers going. They're going to go into the forest and shoot out of it. That's the plan. There's going to be plenty of targets, so why not? Until then, they're going to take a further -1 to hit. But you know what? They suck anyway, so whatever. I got Bow Wowser between the bombardiers and the Merc Vets just to redirect one of those units, either one of his 2 Horde Bricks or the Crushers, whichever comes first or most needed. I will sacrifice the Trappers if I need to in order to slide them out of there. Ideally, I'd like to get my Merc Vets into combat with them because they have Lethal Strike, but we'll see what happens. And then on the right there, I have Lord Tremendous. His job was going to be to shoot down there and hopefully take out any chaff he might have brought because I didn't know what he had. And then I have my cannon on the hill to shoot at anything target opportunity because he can shoot through the forest without having to worry about cover. So we'll see what happens there. For my opponent's part, on his side, from left to right, he's got that huge Scourge or Wrath demon. It's an awesome, awesome model, and it's terrifying, both in stats and in appearance. In front of them are a bunch of Slaughters, and I think his Harbinger is in there. A Harbinger of Wrath. I'm not 100%... No, I don't think there's a character in that one, now that I think about it. Anyway, then he's got a little change Harbinger on a disc back there. Just a little pseudo-caster, and yeah, as soon as I can get a hold of him, I'm going to rip his arms out of his sockets and beat him to death with him. In front of them is some Pestilence guys, some Tallymen, I think. Next to them, a bunch of Crushers. He's got a Crusher, or a Harbinger of Wrath in there as his BSB. That guy is tough as nails. You'll see why later. Then he's got some pestilent beasts right behind them. In front of them are the Warhounds, and then he's got his own Thunder Cannon, whatever they make, Cannon of Wrath or whatever. Basically, just a demonic version of my own. That's it for deployment. Here's top of 1 after movement, and as promised, I shoot the F forward. Everybody comes forward. I was a little conservative on my movement. Rufus only went up 6, so he could shoot. Lord Tremendous went up, screw it. Bombardiers came forward because they were going to shoot. I forgot about Bow Wowser. That's why he's still exactly where he was before. I didn't really have anywhere to put him, so I left him right there. Said forget about it. The Trappers moved up to get a better shot at the Crushers, because, hey, anything might get through. They only got a 4-up armor. I might get lucky. And, yeah, that's it. I move forward to get ready to charge next turn, hopefully. During the magic phase, I believe I get Swarming Insects off on his Pestilent Beast Bastards and do a single wound to them. And, you know what? It's a start. Then in the shooting phase, my Trappers fire away at his Warhounds, and I slip a wound through on them. And this is when I remembered they have 2 wounds each. Damn it! So with no combat, we go over here to bottom of 1 after movement, and he actually comes forward a little bit, which I was happy about. In fact, he charges. His Warhounds charge my Trappers, they stand, they shoot, and they get hit. I probably should have fled with them. Stupid, but I figured he'd hit. He'd probably overrun through the forest, and maybe I could hit him with something and take him out. Maybe the Trappers would surprise me. I don't really know why I stood. I wanted to stand and shoot. It was stupid. I should have fled. The rest of his stuff comes up pretty liberally, I guess. Both his Horde Bricks come straight forward. Not their full march movement, but about 4 to 6 inches each, which is enough for me to charge them. His caster, I believe, on the disc was a mistake. He charged with them, or I'm sorry, he moved him forward in front of his Tallyman. Again, I think that was a bit of a mistake, and I plan on capitalizing on it. I was going to send my good old boys into him, and then overrun into the Tallyman, and hopefully take him out. Well, you'll see what happens. His big demon guy comes over on the left flank looking at Rufus, and I knew he was looking at Rufus, so I had every intention in the world of giving him Rufus. I know that sucks. I did not want to give up Rufus, but I also knew that he wasn't going to bring his big scary general towards my cannon, which is where I really, really wanted to see him, but You know, beggars, choosers, whatever. So yeah, I knew here and now I was going to have to sacrifice Rufus one way or the other. Plus, I wanted to see what this thing was capable of, just how many attacks it was going to put out, what it could do, and I didn't want to do it by looking it up because I'm lazy. And yeah, that's pretty much it for movement. Yeah, it's pretty devastating. Nothing happens during his magic phase, but in his shooting phase, his cannon fires across the field into my cannon, hits, wounds, and does 4 solid wounds. My cannon has 1 wound left and nothing to live for. Kind of sucks. I did shoot at his cannon last turn and completely missed. So yeah, it's not working out for me so far in the shooting phase. So we go into combat, and his warhounds eat 5 of my trappers. They don't kill them, they just devour them. It's awful. The one remaining trapper pisses himself and flees. You ever try to outrun something with 4 legs when you only got 2? Doesn't work out. So they go tearing ass through the forest, catch my remaining trapper, and stop an inch away from my bombardiers. Which kind of sucks. I'm not going to lie to you. It's like, oh crap, what do I do now? Because my bombardiers are not going to be able to do anything against that unit. Maybe if Lord Tremendous could have charged him in the flank, I would have gone in, but this just seems like a lose to me. So maybe they'll shoot at him. I don't know. It's looking bad for my right flank. So we go over here to top of 2 after movement, and after some semi-careful consideration, I decide, screw it, we're going in. So the good old boys charge his Harbinger on a disc and catch him, no problem. And then my Mercs and Lord Tremendous slam into his Crushers. I figure with impact hits and the amount of damage and lethal strike that these guys can put out, I should be okay. I should be able to crush this unit in a turn or 2 of combat and move on to some other stuff. The good old boys will destroy the disc, overrun into the Tallyman, right? And then I should be good. What I didn't consider, though, was that his group of slaughters are going to just countercharge me in the flank with the trapper, or with the, what's it called? The slaughter, get the good old boys. And I'm like, oh no, I realized it in the shooting phase of all times. Because I take Bow Wowzer and I put him over in front of the dogs for absolutely no purpose. I'm just sacrificing him for no gain. I shifted the Bombardiers over because I'm stupid. It didn't do anything. Yeah, this whole thing on the right flank, I'm just playing with my head up my ass. And hilarity will ensue. What can I tell you? Skaz and Spaz's turn to look at the dogs because suddenly they became the main problem. I did lose 1 Merc Vet going through the forest because life just isn't fair. And yes, I only had to roll a 2 or higher in order to save, and I rolled 4 1s because the dice gods, they be fickle. Rufus moves over to the left, taunting his general, just trying to keep him out of this combat. I know he's going after Rufus. He's smart to go after Rufus, but I'm going to give him, there's no way I can get past him. I should have taken Rufus and put him in front of the damn slaughterers, but I'm a stupid person. What can you do? And then my cannon comes off the hill to get in range of his general to hopefully put some wounds on him before he gets into Rufus. That's it for movement. There's a better picture of my Mercs and Lord Tremendous making into the Crushers. One of my Mercs dies in the forest, and the good old boys slamming into his Harbinger on a disc. So nothing happens in magic. I roll like 3 dice and it's dispelled, no problem. We go into shooting. My cannon shoots at his damn demon and misfires. Misfires 3, so can't shoot this turn or next. Well, you know, when I need it, it usually fails. What can you do? However, on the positive side, Rufus, always gotta love Rufus. He shoots both ogre crossbows at the demon, hits with both and wounds with both, and both get through. Outstanding. Rufus, I can always rely on him, you know? So we go into combat, and this combat is brutal for my opponent. I am able to destroy all but 2 of his Crushers. My BSB ends up in a challenge with his unit champion, and he dies. My BSB is able to just crush him, which is awesome. I roll like 6 lethal strike wounds, so leaving him with his ward save, but he doesn't make any of them. So in the end, I win this combat by a landslide. He's able to do about 4 wounds total, 3 to the Merc Vets, 1 to Lord Tremendous. I do a ton to him, plus I charge Banner, BSB, War Standard. It's a ton of combat res. He rolls his break check, and the Crusher unit implodes. That's awesome. That is exactly what I had hoped would happen. So now I just got to take out his BSB. Lord Tremendous can go to the right, the Merc Vets can go to the left, and hopefully by the end, you know, when all the smoke clears, all the demons will be gone, and the remaining ogres will be victorious. Then over here, the good old boys destroy that guy on a disc, overrun into the Taliban, and end up right there. And this is kind of when I realized, damn, I should have put Bow Wowser in front of the Slaughterers. I noticed it during the shooting phase, but I really realized how screwed I was right here. So, yeah, I'm an idiot. So here's bottom of 2 after movement, and the Iron Curtain falls. His general charges Rufus. Rufus stands and shoots, but he wasn't able to hit him this time, which is a shame. His Slaughterers run into my good old boys, and they are like, "What are you thinking about?" I'm sorry, guys. And his pestilent beasts or whatever charge into the flank of Lord Tremendous, and I could care less. I'm going to eat those things alive, I think. His Warhounds charge into Bow Wowser because I'm a moron, so I just gave him Bow Wowser and probably my Bombardiers because, you know what, it's all about efficiency. And that's it for movement. There's a better picture of his amazing demon guy slamming into my amazing Rufus, and this fight's going to be amazing and sad. And here is a picture-perfect example of being over-eager and what it gets you. Yeah, that's his Slaughterers literally slamming into the flank of the good old boys. You know what, it's going to be a tough fight. It is, for both sides. But man, is it stacked in his favor right now. And there's a better picture of his pestilent beasts slamming into Lord Tremendous. And other than being gooey, he's not too worried. Then in the shooting phase, because his magic phase is gone now, his cannon, which cannot be stopped, fires at my cannon of doom and blows it to pieces. Now I understand why people hate my cannon, but you know, it made me giggle when it happened. So we go into combat, and we make a mistake here. Rufus is able to do 1 wound to his general. In return, I take 3. We found out at the end of the game that he had something on him, his demon general had something on him that made every wound that he does to monsters and ridden monsters, which Rufus is, multiplied by 2. So Rufus took 6 wounds in this combat. We just didn't realize it until the end of the game. So Rufus takes 3 wounds. His general takes a wound, so 3 wounds and a charge to 1 wound. I lose by 3, and believe it or not, I make my break check. So that's why Rufus is still alive in this one when he should be dead. Our bad. Combat over here actually doesn't go terrible. The dog only Bow Wow's only takes a wound, but he does a wound. He loses by 1, but he's only leadership 5, which is what's stopping me from taking big breaks of 3x3 of these guys. And he needs a 4 to stay, and Bow Wowser is not known for his courage. He breaks, flees, gets away, and the dogs overrun into my Bombardiers because when I give it up sweet! What can I say? I'm an idiot. So now we go into this big, mega, huge battle, and as you can see, it is as brutal as I thought it was going to be. I lose 5 tribesmen, okay, which is actually not too bad considering. He ended up losing a ton of his tallymen and only a few of his slaughterers, just the way it all evened out. And in the end, I lose, but I only lose by like 2, so it's really not that bad. And I only need a 7 with a reroll, and I make my break check and stick. I can't do anything, but I'm not dead yet, so I feel pretty good about that. Over here in this combat, Lord Tremendous ends up getting into a challenge with his BSB, which doesn't go well. I do a wound to him, I get 2 wounds put back on me. He's able to, I think, he gets into combat with my BSB. My BSB is able to put a wound onto him, maybe 2. He does nothing in return. His beasts attack Lord Tremendous and are able to do 2 wounds to him, and in return he's only able to do 1 back because he's making his ward saves. That's why we call him Sex Panther, because 60% of the time he makes all of his ward saves. I lose this combat by like 3. He pursues with his beasts, but Lord Tremendous gets away, bounces through, the Slaughterers, takes another, he's at 3 wounds, so he's fine. He's not dead, but he's way over on the other side of the table, And the beasts don't run over into the merc vets who make their break check because they stop an inch away from their BSB guy who is in the way. So I guess thank God for small favors, but the fact that Lord Tremendous broke like that breaks my heart. And with that amazing round of combat over, we go over here to top of 3 after movement. And there's not much. I'm mostly screwed. Skaz and his Spazzes move forward a little bit. They didn't have an angle to charge anything, so they're really going to be useless this particular turn. Lord Tremendous rallies, my dog does not, and flees like 3 more inches, so he's got another shot to let me down. And that's really it. During the magic phase, I get +1 toughness off on my tribesmen because these guys need every advantage they can get right now. And then we go into combat because shooting is irrelevant. And the bombardiers do what they always do and let me the fuck down. They take 3 wounds, okay? 1 guy dies. I do absolutely nothing back. All their attacks, all their stomps, every wound I do, he makes either his armor or his ward save. So I lose by 4, because, well, 3 because these guys suck. They break because they're cowards, and they get run down because they're fat and slow. So I'm really fed up with bombardiers. So yeah, I know I said it last game, but this game will be the last time you see him for a little while. Definitely. Combat over here. My BSB is in a challenge with his BSB. We do nothing to each other. I've got banner, BSB, and a war standard to his BSB. I win by 2, and he's fine. He's rolling low for his break checks. This BSB is holding me up, and I desperately need my merc vets to do something. I thought this was a great charge, and it's turning out to be game losing for me. In this combat over here, we are tired. I lose 1 tribesman. In return, he loses 4 or 5 tallymen and 1 slaughterer. Again, I think I lose this combat by like 1, or 1 or 2. It's not much if I do lose, and we all stick in. So this is brutal. This is a real grind. Over here, though, it's yeah, it was the inevitability that was gonna happen. His huge Scourge of Wrath demon just cuts Rufus in half. I think he did 6 total wounds. It was just insane. He's got like 7 attacks. There's not much I can do. Rufus dies. He's not able to do anything back to him, and that sucks. So once he scrapes Rufus off his axe, he turns to face Lord Tremendous, and that's gonna suck too. With that turn of events, here's bottom of 3 after movement, and it's getting ugly. It's getting real ugly. His scary demon guy slams into the flank of Lord Tremendous, who just has to take it. Maybe I should have fled, but honestly, we did a mock roll to see what would have happened. He'd have ran me down. Ran me down like the sheep that I currently am. His Pestilent Beast guys move over to their left a little bit to get into range to charge my Merc Vets in a minute. And I think his dogs either come back on the table or they're just looking at Skaz and his Spazzes. I don't exactly remember. But it doesn't matter. This is what the table looks like. I'm in a lot of trouble. There's kind of a crappy picture of his demon slamming into Lord Tremendous. I couldn't do a whole lot. His wings are magnificent. What do you want from me? He skipped the magic phase, go right into shooting. His cannon fires at Skaz and the Spazzes and misfires 4. Which is awesome, because now it can't shoot this turn or next. So we go into combat, and his general rips Tremendous's head off. It wasn't even close. I do nothing to him. I don't even think I got to attack, to be honest with you. And, yeah, I'm dead as a doornail. Nothing for it. And then he does his hero pose as he turns to face towards this combat, because I'm screwed. Over here in this combat, nothing happens. I'm still in a challenge, BSB versus BSB. I don't do any wounds to him. He doesn't do any wounds to me. I've got 2 banners and a war standard. He's got a banner. I win by 2. He makes his check again. I need him to fail 2. I need him to fail by 2. And he's making them, like, regardless. Ah! He's killing me, Smalls. He's killing me. Then we go into this combat over here. I lose 2 more tribesmen. He loses about 4 guys total from both units. I'm slowing down, I really am. And he's making a lot of saves. It's painful. I lose this combat again. But I lose it by a decent amount, and I actually make my break check. So we're still here. It's just, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to hold out. So here's top of 4 after movement, and in massive panic and desperation, Skaz and his spazzes charge into the front of the slaughterers. I don't have any other choice. I have to get into this combat, or the good old boys are dead. They're not going to be able to endure this fight. It's and that's it. That's it for movement. Everything else I have is either dead or in combat. This has not gone well for me at all. There's a better picture of Skaz and his spazzes slamming into this fight and trying to save the good old boys. See, Skaz is a team player. During the magic phase, I go off. I get like 10 power dice, and I just get 2 spells off, but I get +1 strength on the Skaz and his spazzes because screw defense, we got to go offense. I need to wound with everything. And then I also get the one where he's at -1 to hit and all terrain is dangerous terrain. Not that that's going to come into effect, but the fact that he's -1 to hit will, and that's what I'm banking on. So hopefully magic just saved my ass here. And we go right back into combat, and the same thing happens. No wounds are done on either side. I win by 2. He makes his check, and then he makes his check again so we can slide over so that his beast can come in no problem. It's all over but the crying, and I'm doing a lot of whining. This combat. Holy crap. Skaz and his spazzes take 1 wound. That's it, because of the -1 to hit. That saved my ass. The good old boys are able to finish off the tallyman, and then I'm able to take out 5 to 10. I don't even remember how many friggin' slaughterers die. He loses this combat. He only loses a couple more guys because his general's right there. He takes a -1 to how many he loses. He doesn't roll very high. So the unit is still mainly there, but I win this combat. Skaz is actually looking like he might be the hero of the game, and that's awesome. Here's what it looks like afterwards. I lied. He did actually lose a lot to crumble checks and stuff like that, his instability or whatever. And I turn to face the good old boys into the unit. Hopefully I can finish the slaughterers off. I know his general's coming in next turn, but I'm hoping combat res from killing the infantry is going to be enough to crush his general and win me this game. It all comes down to this! So here's bottom of 4 after movement, and like I said, his general comes slamming into Skaz and his spazzes. I knew it was coming. What can you do? Hopefully I can kill enough infantry to pop his general. We'll see. His pestilent beast guys go slamming into the flank of the mercs. I think that might help me. I don't know. It really depends on if I can slip wounds through or not. I have 5 attacks from my one guy. Oh god. Well, actually, shoot. I have two guys that could attack, so you know, I think I only attacked with 1. I'm not really sure about that. Anyway, they're going to fight, so there's that. Hopefully Bodyguard keeps me in there long enough. I just need to crush these guys on the left, get my mercs out of that fight on the right, destroy his cannon, and maybe the dogs will survive. We'll see. This is still very winnable. There's a better picture of that magnificent bastard slamming into Skaz and his spazzes. This combat just got even more interesting. And there's a better picture of his pestilent beast slamming into my merc vets. And this combat just got more interesting. Probably devastating is a better word. So there's no magic, nothing to do in shooting. We go straight into combat, and I kill all but 1, maybe 2. I kill all but 2 of his slaughterers because he makes so many saves. It's insane. I do nothing to his general. I don't even try. That guy scares the hell out of me. I lose 2 spazzes, right? So with his charge and everything, I lose this combat by 1, alright? So I've got 2 units that need 8s with a reroll in order to stay. Should be fine. No, that's not what happens at all. I don't roll lower than an 11 5 times. Skaz and his spazzes roll an 11, and a 3 to flee, and they get run down because his general pursues. The good old boys, they roll an 11 and a 10, and then a 12 to flee, and end up over there. They get pursued by the slaughterer, and they don't make it. The only positive thing is 1 slaughterer dies due to dangerous terrain checks because of the spell. Can you fucking believe it? 4 8-up leadership checks failed. Skaz and his spazzes get run down, and my general with the good old boys are fleeing. And not only are they fleeing, they're below 25%. So I need a 5 to rally them. Oh, the turn! The turn! We go into this combat over here, and I don't do anything to him in the challenge. He does 1 wound to my BSB in the challenge. In return, I'm able to do 2 wounds to his Pestilent Beast. They don't do anything to me. They have charge, flank, and super flank, and a BSB to my banner, BSB, and 2 wounds. I win this combat by like 1, and needless to say, both units make their break check like it's nothing. It's not like they needed an 8 with a reroll and had 4 attempts to stick. Nope, they make it no problem because the dice gods like demons, and damn it! So here's the top of 5 after movement. And I'm screwed. Yeah, just nothing to be done for it. Nothing at all. Just my general and his unit fails to rally, and they continue to flee. They end up right where they're at. And yeah, the Merc Vets are still in combat, and everything just kind of positions themselves to murder me in a minute. That's it for movement. Nothing in magic or shooting. We go straight into combat. Again, nothing happens in the challenge. I cannot kill this guy. In return, they are able to kill one of my Merc Vets. I lose this combat. I've still got bodyguards, so I'm stubborn and I stay. However, here's the bottom of 5 after movement, and it all comes down to this. His cannon turns to face my general's unit, just to give him a parting shot, I guess, and I can't blame him, I do the same thing. His general, the mass murderer that he is, slams into the rear of the Merc Vets, and that's all she wrote there, folks. The one remaining slaughterer, proud as hell to be there, just stands there, waving his flag. The Warhounds move up a little bit to, I don't know, tear into something juicy. They probably found a corpse over there they can eat. And that's it for my hope and movement. Oh, there's been a picture of the Harbinger of Doom slamming into my Merc Vets and just solidifying his victory. It was a smart move. So we go into combat. There's nothing else to do. There's nothing else to talk about. He does shoot at my general's unit. It doesn't matter. He misses. And we go into combat. In the combat, my BSB finally takes out his BSB. Unfortunately, his general kills both of the remaining corpulent bastards. He does a huge amount of wounds. He does 4 or 5 wounds to the unit. There's nothing I can do about that. I lose this combat. I break. And his general is the only one that pursues, and he runs me down. I did have to flee from the Pestilent Beast. That's why he's facing that direction. Poor Khan. He finally beat him. He finally beat the demon BSB in combat. But just brutal, and. That's it, guys. That's the end of the game. And yes, I'm leaving the music play because it's sad. We do go into my next turn, so top of 6, and I don't rally my general's unit. He flees off the table, so I am officially tabled. I didn't quit. I didn't give up. I just got my ass kicked. Oh my gosh, this game was so fun. But you know what? Let's not even hesitate. Let's get right into the recap because this game is over.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
So as you saw, it was a massive defeat for Lord Tremendous. I got tabled in the bottom of turn 5. I lost everything, including my blackened soul. So he took everything. Oh, what a brutal game with a massive upset. But at the same time, what an awesome game with a crazy-ass twist. That was fun as hell. So, yeah, let's talk about the elephant. Both units of tribesmen, the Spazzes and the good old boys, break at the same time in the same combat. Both units needing rerollable 8s to stay. I can't believe it happened. If I wasn't there, I would say I was lying. It drove me nuts. That honestly solidified my opponent's win. There was no way to recover from that. My poor cannon, it got shot to hell. It got beat up. And like I said, just to clarify, Rufus held his ground, but he shouldn't have. He should have died in the first round of combat. It's not a huge big deal, but the game, I still lost the game like I should have, but his general should have been more prevalent in that fight than he was. And our bad, our rule mistake. And the guy hasn't played in 6 months, and I've never seen the demons in 9th Age. Cut us some slack. Ugh. All of that considered, I still say this was a very close game right until the breaking, which will how I refer to it from now on. It's just the breaking. Just not only did my units break, my heart and spirit broke at the same time. The big demonic general that he had was awesome to fight, and it's a gorgeous model. It's very well painted. To have it on the table was a joy. I really did enjoy that a lot. Another cool thing about this game was Skaz was almost a hero. He was for a minute, and then he broke and got ran down like a bitch, but it was just for a second. I thought Skaz was going to be somebody. My bad. Shouldn't have got my hopes up. My Mercs getting stuck and my BSB getting stuck on that demon BSB. That guy was amazing. He was my opponent's MVP, hands down. Single-handedly, literally single-handedly took my mercenary veterans and my BSB out of the fight until he could deal with them. That alone was the most amazing thing that happened in this game, and that includes the breaking. But this was an excellent game against a really, really excellent opponent, and I'm thrilled to have him back because I haven't been able to play him in months. So, really cool that he's back, and I'm loving that he's loving the 9th Age as much as the rest of us, so that's cool too. Very glad to have him back, and cannot wait for our rematch, because, damn it, I don't want to have another breaking. Real quick, I just want to say thank you to everybody that supports me financially, both through Patreon and PayPal and other means. I do have a lot of donors that want to remain anonymous. I respect that and will continue to respect that. However, these are my donors that allow me to thank them properly on my channel. Alex of the Fail Renegades, South Florida's Gamermancy team, Daniel Jolson, and Caillou Choi. Thank you guys very much, and thank you everybody that donates and supports me financially. I really do appreciate it, and I hope I continue to be worthy of your patronage, even after losing a game like this. I'm kidding. There's no shame in losing this game. This was an awesome game. But thank you guys. I really do appreciate it. But that's it, guys. That's going to do it for this battle report, number 48, my first ever 9th Age game against the Demonic Legion. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as quick as I can. But yeah, guys, thanks.